which is going. So I gather you're an independent consultant. Are you volunteering today, or are you being paid by the administration?
No, I'm sorry. I apologize. It's habit to say we. You're right. I've left the administration.
We.
Are you under contract
The
with the
administration.
administration?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You're here as a volunteer.
I am. I apologize for that. It's habit. When I say we, I mean the administration, and that's just a habit of mine. I apologize.
So who does the economic analysis?
The ARB is doing some of it. We have consultants doing some of it. The Energy Commission, the PUC, is contributing to that.
Consultants
To the Air Board, I believe.
Ms. Brownlee, were you finished?
Well, I just wanted to follow up with Ms. Tutt, who said that she thought terms for board members would be detrimental.
Well, what I said, and certainly what I meant, was that we need to consider this very carefully, because I will tell you that I, in my capacity at Cal EPA, work with a number of different boards and different cabinet level agencies, some of which have term limit boards and commissions, some of which are appointment, pleasure only. And in my experience, the Air Resources Board is exceptional. I mean, they are world-renowned. Everybody looks to the Air Resources Board. Part of the reason AB 32, the leadership was placed at the Air Resources Board, is because of the respect that they've garnered. Changing the board to a term, all I'm saying is we need to very carefully consider how that would impact both the choice and the accountability to the people of California. So I guess what I'm saying is not that we should go one way or the other. I haven't given that a whole lot of thought. The first I'd heard it was today. But I have a tremendous amount of respect for the board and what they've done historically, and I think it will change how they're chosen, how they behave. And I think Catherine's idea of considering the makeup of the board, with AB 32 now such a big piece of their efforts, should also be considered. I think that's very thoughtful and probably something we may want to look at. But I'd hate to see that decision just made as if, yes, that's a good idea, and we decide that now after so many years of success.
I would say it's become absolutely necessary, and this administration is what made it so. 40 years of success certainly do speak for themselves, and never has any governor interfered as much as this one, or a governor's staff. So either the governor can change his staff or he can change the board, but that's what it comes down to.
Thank you. Ms. Aldana? Well, it's been said already that this AB 32 is intended to be a science-based measure, and I believe that there is very important science that was implemented, what we're trying to implement now. And we have an administration that's priding itself on AB 32 to the point that it is now seen as a global player in crafting policy, in crafting action. And yet I have to ask, where is the science in the governor's office? Because we have here some transcript of a phone call before the early action meeting on the 21st. It said that this was from Dan Dunmoyer, that in communication to Dr. Sawyer, he wanted you to understand where the governor is coming from. And then he said that regarding 3 early action items, we are not at this point happy. We don't think there was a lot of science to back up the cool paints and the mid-level, mid-duty trucks. My question, and I'm not sure if anyone can answer this because we don't have a representative from the administration who's currently in the governor's office. Who is the science advisor to the governor? Who is vetting the Air Board's early action items to the point that this type of a statement can be made in that phone call from his director, his secretary? So is there anyone here who can answer who is advising the governor in his office on science policy?
I can answer who is the basis for that information, and that is a write-up by the staff of the Air Board. They wrote up the proposal, the pros and the cons of the proposal for cool paints and medium-duty trucks. And the proposal on cool paints opened a lot of questions on the science. And medium-duty trucks, actually the staff recommendation was against it. And I think that goes to the point I was making earlier, that there wasn't a need to rush those forward. There's still be a very good possibility that we do those after they've been more fully vetted, after you look at the cost effectiveness, after you look at some of these things. It was rushed forward. It looked like it was coming in at the 11th hour. And, you know, we have a target of 2012 when our first cuts come
You're
in.
referring to we again. and
Yeah,
that
sorry.
You're no longer with the administration.
Yeah,
is that correct?
the state has to meet a target in 2012. We have the time, the state has the time to more fully vet these measures. And I think that was the concern that the Cabinet Secretary was putting forward. But the basis for that statement was staff review, ARB staff review of those proposals.
The statement that we don't think there's a lot of science to back this up
Correct.
was based on the staff report from the ARB.
Yes.
Could I hear from Ms. Witherspoon, please?